Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
The economy of a country can be likened to the engine room of a factory, the place where the pistons stroke and the wheels turn. And, as with a factory, the end result of this exercise is a product. In the case of a factory, it might be an item of clothing, or a food, or some other product that make our lives satisfying. With an economy, the product is the aggregate of all the goods and services produced in the country, and it's identified by its monetary value as the gross domestic product, GDP. Gross meaning the sum total and domestic meaning within your own environment. Economic terms can be difficult for the average Joe, but if we are to understand the workings of the national economy, we must have a grasp of these terms.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing story.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning.
And that special good morning is just for you. Welcome to Thursday. I'm Shane Seeley. Great to be with you. You're watching online. We're pleased to have you. Your commitment to Mornin Barbados every weekday morning from 6 a.m. right up until 8. It may be a different time where you are, whether you're in the UK, in that side of the diaspora, if you're in the US, many time zones there as well. But we know that you're watching. You send those comments, you share your thoughts, and we do definitely appreciate that. If you're right here at home in our 166 square miles, it's always good to be here. Whether it's a bit warmer than usual or cool like it was yesterday. We had showers right through the day for the most part, eased up during the night time, but they help to keep things cool. Like right now, it's about 26 degrees Celsius, the cooler side of things. As we get up until 8 o'clock, you know, it will get a bit warmer, but outside is still very cloudy and there's still the chance of some showers during this early morning period. So walk with that umbrella. It's always the best option, especially if it gets hot too when you're on the road, whether you're catching that transport board bus or you're walking and making your way to your destination. Outside is nice though. It's very, very nice right now. I'm sorry we can't show you, but you know, it is really nice. And right here on Mornin Barbados, it will be really nice throughout the morning. We got some fast-paced action coming up a bit later on, some 6-second cars, so that gets me going. Fuel junkies, really being safe on one side, but moving very, very fast on another side. You'll get to see just who those gentlemen are right here on Mornin Barbados. Some exclusive footage coming from the track. Also this morning, we speak to our friends from the Spirit of the Nation talent show that is coming up. 2 of the zone members are here. They'll tell you what is happening in the 2025 edition and what you can look forward to as some of those talented youngsters hit the stage. And you'll have that opportunity to hear about what's happening in the climate change movement as well. Climate change is real. Of course, you see and you've been seeing those much more intense systems, storms, hurricanes doing some significant damage. This season we have been spared for the most part right throughout the Caribbean, so that has been good. Most of the storms have veered to the north. So we've seen two storms coming in very close proximity of each other, some huge storms with magnitudes, well, not really magnitude, let's talk about the intensity of the winds going up to 200 plus kilometers per hour. So we've been seeing the intensity, and we'll talk about how we are bracing and preparing for any impact. It's all about building resilience in our area. But let's get this morning's conversations started. Happy birthday to those of you celebrating on this October 9th, October 10th. Hopefully we'll get to show you some special birthday boys. But I want to welcome two special ladies to the couch here on Morning Barbados. Let me say good morning to these Spirit of the Nations Independence Committee members. Paula Harris from St. George. Good morning. Good morning. And Petra Ramsey from St. Thomas.
Good morning to you.
At first I thought I was colorblind. I had to take a second glance. One is red, one is maroon.
Cardinal. Cardinal.
So I am still colorblind. But yeah, good to have you here to talk to us about what is being unearthed in the talent show this year. Paula, I'll start with you. Talk a bit about building up for this year's independence celebrations and especially the talent show.
Okay, the talent show is on Saturday, 6 p.m. at Leicester Vaughan. The build-up, the talent reps from the Central Zone. Central Zone comprises of St. Thomas, St. George, St. Thomas, St. George, St. Joseph, and St. John. Those are the 4 North Central Zone parishes.
Right.
So our talent reps for St. George are the wagon wheel dancers. They'll be doing a ballroom piece. Patrick Ford, Dacia Moore sings, along with 2 others. The St. Jules Primary School Choir. So yes, we have an action-packed event planned for Saturday. So not only parishes for the Central Zone, as we said, St. George, St. John, St. Joseph, and St. Thomas are welcome. We are inviting persons from the Southern Zone and the Northern Zone also.
We want everybody to come out.
Everybody in the
support
center.
The young people in what they're doing, bringing their talents to the stage. Petra, talk about your side of things. What is St. Thomas looking at?
Okay, so this year, similar to Paula and St. George, we'll be bringing song. We have numerous young persons. As the concept says, it's about unearthing talent, and we have 4 persons who will be singing, and then we have spoken word piece. So what we did in St. Thomas is that we looked for those persons who have talent but just need that little nudge and that exposure. So on Saturday, this is where we'll be showcasing the talents not only for St. Thomas but the other 3 parishes within the Central Zone.
Okay, so you're unearthing talent. What do you want to see these young people bring to the stage that you think can make St. Thomas shine?
Their very best. That's all we can ask of them. So we're asking them to be of their very best, to go there and to show others their talent. You know, they have a lot of persons who can sing, who can dance, but they're shy. So this also allows them to step into their confidence zone and to say, hey, here am I. I'm stepping out and I'm representing my parish.
You've seen them on the ground.
Yeah.
Talk a bit about that camaraderie and going through the paces in terms of the preparation for the stage.
Okay, so what the Community Independence Celebration Secretariat would have done leading up to this is that they had 2 workshops where all participants, whether it be Northern, Central, or Southern, you had to attend these workshops. So the workshops looked at vocal range, at your command on the stage. So we've had those 2 workshops leading up to all the zonal shows. So that's what has been happening from the CICS end, as well as our end. We have rehearsals to ensure that they feel confident on Saturday to just showcase their talents.
Have your young wards, Apollo, been going through similar paces as in the workshops to really help them build that confidence and get things right so that when 6 o'clock on Saturday at Les Savon, that they're ready to do their very best?
Yes, definitely. As Petra said, apart from the training sessions that were hosted by the Community Independence Celebration Secretariat, we in St. George also met with our talent reps and prepped them.
Listen, everyone likes their parish. So I'm serious. I love my parish of St. Philip, though I love St. Michael because I've lived there most of my life. So they're unique experiences and things to every parish. What is it for St. George that makes that parish so special for you and the young people who will bring those talents to the stage?
One of the unique things about St. George, one of the unique things about the parish of St. George is we are the only parish that is attached to 6 other parishes. We're the only parish that has the only tamed lion in Barbados. We are the center, St. Thomas is the heartbeat. So we work together to keep things in the country going.
Well, that sounds reasonable. You can peep into 6 other parishes very easily. You're the center, you have no sand.
We have no sea, we have no sand, but we have the scenery.
Yeah, and you can see the sea and the coastline from some parts. All right.
Correct.
Okay, you in St. Thomas.
Yeah, as Paula said, St. Thomas is the heart of Barbados. And you know, in any organization, you need that heartbeat. So we are the heartbeat of Barbados, proud to say that. And everyone knows about Harson's Cave, but we have the Rock Hall Freedom Village, we have Pori Spring. And what we learned during our walkthroughs communities is that that spring has been running for well over 90 years. So that is one spring that persons from all over Barbados, they go to just to have that fresh and cool bath. So for me, St. Thomas being the heart of Barbados, we have the cave, yes, but we also have the scenery, beautiful scenery. And St. Thomas is one place that the rain falls every day.
Oh, God, see it to believe it.
You have to see it to believe it. I've lived there for most of my life. So yeah,
every day.
Even on Saturday, it was raining where I lived. But then when I drove a few, not even feet, dry.
So every single day?
Almost every day, the rain falls in St. Thomas.
And these special features, how do you display that, these, in their talents, the young people? Will they be bringing any of that uniqueness of these parishes to the stage?
Each genre is different. So we allowed persons to, for this year, they're doing heritage. We looked at honoring our past. So they'll be bringing songs that speaks to our heritage, even in the spoken word. But when we look at the uniqueness of St. Thomas, we did that through our walkthroughs and our community visits within the parish. And we showcase that in our project. So everything that we do in St. Thomas always ties back into our theme and what the parish stands for.
And have the residents been getting excited as they know their parish will be represented?
Yes, they do. They're getting excited and they know their parish colors. So like for instance, on Saturday, I'm encouraging the parishioners of St. George to come out and rep in the red.
And you're encouraging them to come in cardinal.
Yeah. Cardinal, that's the color.
This is not maroon? This is not a subset of maroon?
It's a subset, but the color is cardinal. A lot of people get it mixed up, but hey.
Especially men?
Yes.
All right, we'll live with that. But listen, 6 p.m., Les Savon is the place. St. Thomas and St. George, they will be hitting the stage for what is the Spirit of the Nation Central Zone Talent Show, Unearthing Talent. That's what they'll be doing. So please go and support the youth of St. George and St. Thomas, the heart of Barbados, and the place where there's only what kind of lion? Yes, please get to Les Savon, 6 p.m. That's the time. Thank you so much, Petra. Thank you so much, Paula, for sharing with us this morning. And we're wishing the young people who will be making themselves known and really shining on the stage all the best.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for sharing with us on this Thursday edition of Morning Barbados. Fast paced, we're coming up to that, hitting the track, burning it up, record times, all features of what some gentlemen repping Barbados have been doing recently, not only here on the island, but abroad. We'll share that and a lot more with you as we take you through your Thursday morning.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Well, recently we had the Dominica World Creole Music Festival. That's over now. But we have a winner. We had a special competition on 98.1 The One with DJ Ras. We want to take you there to see the moment when the winner was drawn.
Today is October 8th, and it's now time for the draw for the World Creole Music Festival. Flying to Dominica. Compliments of us right here at CBC and Dominica, man. We had a good competition running, pulsating rhythms, and someone is going to get to take a friend all the way to Dominica.
Yes.
That's right. Alicia Hinkson is in studio. And we are ready to do this draw. We got a big box here.
They have airfare, accommodation, and tickets.
Yeah.
You know.
To tickets to some of the best events.
Where we could enter, you know, me and you in Dominica.
Yeah, but the problem is we work here.
Yeah. So we can do the draw. We can do the draw. Lots and lots of entries came in. Like, thank you for participating.
Right.
All you have to do is listen to when you heard the musical icon on radio, or when you saw it on television.
Yeah.
Note the time.
It's time to experience Dominica Creole Festival. Yeah.
Right? And email contest at cbc@gmail.com. That's all you had to do. And let me tell you, people were locked right on. We had thousands of entries. When I started to print off those emails, it took me the entire day yesterday to get this job done. But thank you very, very much for locking on, for listening, and for participating in the World Creole Festival Dominica competition.
Alrighty then, people. So let's do this draw. Let me see. I got the box right here. Let me put my hand in the box. Shake up, shake up, shake up, shake up. Yeah.
Here.
They got thousands of entries in here. Thousands of entries in here. But for the ultimate festival getaway, I see right now the winner is Natasha Bob. Natasha Bob is the winner. She has more than one on this paper, but she has the 3 p.m. September 10th on 98.1.
1 second.
And then she has 12:20 p.m. September 12th on 98.1.
3 p.m. September 2nd.
3 p.m. September 10th on 98.1. Yeah, September 10th.
She's a winner.
She is a winner.
She is a winner.
She is a winner, people. So congratulations to Natasha Bob. She is going to Dominica, and she is allowed to bring one person with her for the Dominica World Creole Music Festival.
Wish it was me. Wish it was me, but I heard it was a time to be had. So congratulations to Miss Bob there and her guests as they went over to Dominica for what was an amazing Creole music festival. Next year, it will be good to be there. I will try to get my name in that box. We'll take a break. We got a lot more on this Thursday edition outside. I'll tell you what, with that umbrella, I'm seeing 75% chance of us getting some rain in and around our community, our area. So just walk with that umbrella and be safe. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share?
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Today we're celebrating with the Barbados Postal Service on what is World Post Day. What's it all about? Why do we celebrate World Post Day? Well, we have the lady and the gentleman here to tell me exactly why we do that. Faith Smith is a marketing research officer acting with the Barbados Postal Service, and Winston J. Blenman, also marketing officer with the Barbados Postal Service. Good to have you both here with us, and happy World Post Day.
Thanks for having us on. Thank you.
Okay, so I'd like to start with ladies first. Why do we celebrate World Post Day? Why is it such a big occasion for the Postal Service?
Well, it's such a big occasion for the Postal Service in that Barbados, in collaboration with the Universal Postal Union, we celebrate that, and as a result, it is filtered down into all of the states, like the Caribbean and worldwide, and just to let everyone know what we do as the Postal Service.
Is there a theme for this year's celebration?
Yes, there's a theme for this year's celebration: local service, global reach.
Local service, global reach. And I mean, when we look at the Barbados Postal Service, you have really pushed through in a time of technological development. You have met those demands and those challenges of Barbadians through and through. Winston, talk to us about, in celebrating, what do Barbadians need to know about better understanding what is a new Barbados Postal Service?
Well, through time, the Barbados Postal Service has evolved. There were times back then that we used to do our accounting, we used to do bookwork. Now we have transitioned into using computers.
Everything is digital.
To be more efficient and digital, more modernized.
And there's no more, well, I shouldn't say that. I remember the years, and I might be dating myself now, when I would write letters handwritten and send to Trinidad. How often is that done now? How often do you see that?
Hardly no. We have other services that we really focus on. But you know, this is the age of technology, and persons send emails and WhatsApp messages and stuff like that. However, we also have other services that we offer. We have a service whereas you can do your visas. You can apply for your visas and your ETAs for Canada and the UK, you know. And also we have a flyer system with marketing. And if you want to advertise your business, we offer a service of a flyer. You can, if you want to send out 500 flyers, 1,000 flyers across the island, we cater to that as well.
Okay, and this is both digital and physical flyers?
Physical flyers.
Physical flyers?
Yes. The postmen, they will be the groundsmen, like, to go and deliver the flyers from house to house.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, this transformation, you mentioned the flyer service. That's a good way to market your business, getting your business and whatever surrounds that straight in the hands of many residents right across the island. What else has helped you to make this transition a bit more seamless?
Well, I would say communications. As we reach out to the public, we explain the services that we have. You know, customers tell you their needs, and we try to evolve to suit those needs.
And it's a great evolution that is necessary in what is a very competitive market. According to your research, because you are the marketing research officer, what is the best mode now in terms of reaching most Barbadians through the postal service?
Well, the best mode by reaching out to persons now.
That outreach.
Outreach. Well, in terms of mail-wise, we still do registered mail, whereas if you want to send something like the banks or if child support and stuff like that, you can register your mail, right? And it is recorded. Even if someone registered their mail overseas and they're sending to Barbados and they want to know, well, where's my mail? I send it and it should reach, you know. You can go online and you can track it. There's a tracking system.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And parcels as well.
That's another big, what would I say, a plus for the postal services. The fact that we have a tracking service. You can go online and you can track your mail. That service is available.
Well, when you say go online, take us through that process. How do you register for it?
Well, it's just a matter of just going online and just typing in the number. For say, like on the register letter, it have like a barcode, and you can just type in your barcode,
right,
and you can just go and track globally.
Lovely. Talk about events at the Postal Service today. Y'all must be doing something special.
Yes.
You'd hand it over to you.
Yes, in terms of our week of activities.
Right.
On Sunday the 5th, we just held this church service at the River Road New Testament Church of God, of which we had a wonderful church service, thanks to Reverend Raul Evelyn and Reverend Bernadette Cadogan. It was a very exciting service, very nice, and you know, it was thrilling. Very, very nice.
So you're really celebrating during the week?
Yes, we're celebrating during the week. Really and truly, we should have had a whole week covered, but due to certain challenges, we were not able to cover the whole week. You know, we had some challenges within the office. You know, we had some staff members who passed away. You know,
condolences.
Yes, just to mention that. Yes, and on Monday, the 6th, we held a cricket match. This was at the Barbados Police Sports Club. This match was between the Barbados Postal Service team and the prison service, which was a very exciting match. Very thrilling.
The T20 or?
It was a T20.
T20. And who won?
The prison service. They have the bragging rights.
They have the bragging rights this time around. But so nothing today, except of course spending some time with us here on Mornin Barbados.
But usually here on World Post Day, we usually have the prize giving ceremony for the National Letter Writing Competition.
Okay.
Right, but it was done earlier this year. It was done on the 27th of June.
27th of June, that Correct. National Letter Writing Competition.
Correct.
You had a lot of entries this year.
This year,
what was it like?
This year was a great improvement. From 13 one year to 44 this year. It was a great improvement.
Because letter writing is now an art.
Yes, yes it is, and we still have the children who participated. The schools reaching out to the teachers, and the teachers contact us. And the children are focused and just ready and geared to go again.
It's a good educational tool, especially in an era where we see some of our youngsters, young ladies, young men are struggling with language, putting it to paper and struggling with writing too. So it helps you with those literary skills. So it's good to see that the Postal Service is meeting all of the demands of the public still in an era where we're evolving as far as technology, the digital era. You're still holding your own. Anything else that you would like Barbadians to know about the Postal Service as you celebrate World Post Day?
Well, we still offer utility payments, and for those elderly persons that don't want to go to the bank, they can still come by us, and it's always a friendly atmosphere because they will come in and they'll be able to talk to their favorite clerk, and we still, cash their pensions. And we also have a service with the pharmacies where if they can't collect the Barbados Postal Service along with the Express Department, they will, go and deliver the drugs to their person.
Medication right to your door, indeed, Mr. Blendman. For you, last thoughts on this World Post Day?
It's very exciting for me. It's an opportunity to celebrate.
What does the future look like?
We are resilient. We are very resilient. So I think the future is very promising.
And we look forward to it. Thank you for coming and sharing with us, both of you, here on Mornin Barbados. Mr. Winston Blendman and Faith Smith. Marketing and Research Officer, both acting at the Barbados Postal Service. Happy World Post Day. You can go down and see a bit more and hear a bit more about their services and what they're all about in this digital era. More to come here on Mornin Barbados. We still have to take you to the racetrack, so that's definitely coming up. And at 7, we have your news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
The economy of a country can be likened to the engine room of a factory, the place where the pistons stroke and the wheels turn. And, as with a factory, the end result of this exercise is a product. In the case of a factory, it might be an item of clothing, or a food, or some other product that make our lives satisfying. With an economy, the product is the aggregate of
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
On the 10-second eliminations right now. Jim, yo, I love the international drama. Let's go, man. Let's see what's going on. Let's go there,
Call that the B-Touring Express. Flag up the track there. That's Grenada, Rommel?
Yes, please.
Yes, Rommel, Muffin, Aline. Aline's Auto Rev. 246 Island Auto in the house, sharing and spending some time with us on Mornin Barbados after some amazing runs, not only here in Barbados, but further afield. First question, Rommel. How did you get the nickname Muffin? Where did that come about? I only call you Muffin when I hear, people saying Muffin all the time.
Right. All right. Muffin came from, back in the days, as an 80s baby. So back in the days, my dad used to cut my hair in a muff. So you get in school, your father used to cut your hair most of the time, or your parents, or your brother, or someone. So my father used to always cut it and leave a little muff at the front. So one day I was at home and the guy said muff, and then another guy said Muffin, and then I just stayed, and then from there everyone just keep calling me Muffin.
Okay, but Muffin and what we see there, those are the two really distant features of the man, Rommel Aline. I mean, that is something else. And you've set some records. You got to take us back from the beginning. First off, you're in a front-wheel drive car.
Yes.
It's longer than usual because it's a touring.
Yes.
So talk a bit about the development of what is this now 6-second record car.
All right, so that car has sentimental value to me. A lot of people have been asking me why I choose that platform, but I like to be different in anything that I do. So my wife and I, we own a garage named Aline's Auto Rev Garage, specializing in Japanese and European vehicles. And that actual car actually helped me build the garage. When I couldn't afford to get a trucker to bring sand and stone, I put everything in that. And then eventually the garage progressed, we get better, and we was able to, develop, and I decided I can keep it. A good friend of mine named Bell Stalker, he encouraged me to, check out the racing. And from since then, I never turned back. I started out with a Toyota engine in it, and then we developed into a Honda engine now, so it doesn't have a Toyota engine. I was actually the first person in Barbados to put a K20 or K24 engine into a Honda. Into the Toyota BZ.
Right.
And from since then, we just elevate and we get better and better with it, and we just keep pushing. I've been a good few years now. I've been racing, going to the track, getting lashes, going back, people talking crap, but I keep on with it all the time. And now I'm the current two-wheel drive champion in Barbados.
How does it feel to say that, knowing those humble beginnings and building really from the ground up?
It was really hard. Sometimes I felt like giving up. I have a good team behind me. Is 2 Fortress Island Auto is not based on just myself. I have mechanics. I have tuner.
No, you gotta go back. There's another Aline before you get to all of this.
Right. I would get.
Are you saving the best for last?
Yes.
All right.
Right. So I have the mechanic, the tuner, the technical guys. I also have my wife, Shanta Aline. She's behind the scene as well, encouraging me to don't stop, keep fighting. And it only goes to show that, sometimes in life, especially in the car racing world, in the drag racing, we don't get that support like you would get from like Rally Barbados. There's a black club. I got to big up Bad for sure. They're the guys, our team behind supporting the drag racing across Barbados and the Caribbean right now. As I say, we just got back from fastest front wheel drive in Grenada, and I felt good about that.
What are we seeing here on screen?
Oh, that's my dad right there. I would have just won. That was the first elimination. So that's my team right there, supporting me. That's my wife right there, as you can see. Right. So all of us there were extremely happy that the car came out and performed, because no one is expecting. First and first, everybody got Barbados class up as a rally and circuit racing.
Right.
They don't got us class up as fast cars for drags. So to come out and actually represent not only my team but represent Barbados in a whole, that was a big accomplishment. And to be the fastest front wheel drive amongst the Caribbean, because to me that was like a World Cup.
Right.
Because you had all the different countries, the fastest there at the time racing.
And this is in Grenada now?
This is in Grenada, yes.
Talk about that transition. So you were here on the track
Yes.
at Bushy Park, and we've been seeing more drag events from time to time, even heading up north to St. Lucie.
Right.
People doing these timed drags.
Right, because here in Barbados now, we don't do quarter miles here. We do eighth miles at Bushy Park. So, they start 2 eighths to make a quarter.
Yes.
So the transition from being an eighth mile to a quarter mile, you're so going to do fresh dialing, because we could only dial here for the eighth. But then you go another eighth again now when you get to the other islands.
So that's what you did in Grenada?
Yes.
The quarter now?
Yes. So we had to continue dialing, but we got the experience. And as I say, we work as a team. And we continue to keep striving. Honestly, that front wheel drive car you see there, that's doing 145 miles per hour at the track. So that's like 200 and something kilometers. That's really fast. So right now the car is at a stage that we got to install parachute, got to increase on the roll cage, the safety.
Wow.
I want to thank, I have a young lady in my group named Charisse. She's a prayer warrior. And I tell you, because you got to remember, every time we step our foot into that race car, there's a possibility that I might not get back out alive. And that's as serious as it is. So yes, you might see the car going up and down the track, but it's a very serious sport. And you got to take the safeties to another level.
And that's where I was going next. In terms of safety, what kind of safety mechanisms and precautions do you have to also dial in to your BZ?
Well, first thing first, I got to make sure that the suspension is well dialed. And that comes from experience. And the faster you go, we have some persons called scrutineer guys. They come to make sure the battery is safe, wheels is safe, and wheel nuts, everything is secure. Fire extinguisher is in the car. We are using different gas. They're not the regular gas that you go to the pump and put in. So this gas sometimes could burn, and you might not even know that it's burning, because it's going to be burning like very light. So you could be on fire and you don't even know. So it's a lot of different special things that is needed to make sure that when you get in that car, that you are safe. The roll cage, the suit you put on have to be fireproof, things like that. So it's all a learning experience, obviously, as I was coming up from being the 25 days coming up now to the K24, and the faster the car get, the more scary it could get. But to me, I don't be scared. It's just adrenaline to me. I actually love it. You know, I don't. Just going fast for me makes me feel good, and it's just something that I take. And I don't travel without my prayer warrior. She prays for me, and I mean, like, prayer is real. And I hope everyone here listening, you know, believe in God, because Shane, I'm telling you, when I sit down in that car and I go down through that track, I feel like I have Jesus next to me when she prays for me. And she prays for the team. So it's very, very important.
6 seconds. Talk a bit about the time. I know that when I saw one of the videos where you got out of the car, you got that 6 seconds.
Yes.
What was the exact time?
All right, that first pass was 6.98, and I felt really good because coming up, being at Bushy Park, I've been breaking records consistently. I've been the first front-wheel drive car to run a 7-second pass. Before we didn't have any trap bite. Trap bite is a liquid that you pour on the tarmac to keep the tires from wheel spinning. Because I'm front-wheel drive, I'm not four-wheel drive. So it's a little challenging for the front-wheel guys. A lot of guys ask me, why do I don't go four-wheel drive?
Right.
I like challenge. If I go four-wheel drive, it's going to make it too easy for me. So I like a challenge.
Because you're going to get more grip. You're going to get more connection, more contact.
Correct. So I was the first front-wheel drive car to run 7s without track bike. And then the goal now is to go faster. We want to get 6s. That's a whole second. So we've been working at it, my team. I mash up about 3 or 4 different engines, but it's all in the experience, you know. Yes, we mash up, rebuild. You mash up, you rebuild. It's an expensive sport, so I got to thank the sponsors for sure, because they believe in me, and, you know, we can keep fighting. And we know that we were missing one T of it to get this car to run a 6-second pass. We were lacking a particular size rim and tire. So, but the calculation that we did with the gearbox, because a lot of calculations and stuff that you put into this just don't get in. So we realized, you know what, we're missing a tire and a rim. We need to step up. And from the time we did that, the car shoots straight into a 6.9. No, it ran like a 7.1. My fastest time on the 13s was a 7.3. It ran a 7.1, and then a 7.0, and then it went straight into
the 6s. So what is the final
6.8
now? 6.8.
6.8 here, and we believe that the car capable of doing a 6.3.
Wow. When you speak about now the matchups, because of course there's someone in the other lane, one of your good friends, Sammy, was supposed to be here.
Right.
Talk a bit about that camaraderie, because he was also in Grenada as well.
Yes. So Sammy's a very good friend of mine. It's just that right now we pretty much are competing against one another. He makes me faster, I makes him faster, I makes him go and try things, he make me go and try things. So we always neck and neck with it. So right now, I have the fastest time here. So I'm the fastest two-wheel drive record holder here currently. Right. Obviously, he's going to come back to try to take that record next time we are at Bushy Park. We would have went Grenada. He won the 10-second bracket. Me and he was in the finals. I qualified with the fastest time, which was 10.1. He did a 10.2. But it goes to show that sometimes the fastest car don't always be the winner. Consistency is key. So
this is Sammy here?
No, yes, that's Sammy there on the left.
Okay,
he would have raced. Yeah, that was a guy from the USA. Wow. He would have raced.
I talk about the participation. You mentioned USA there as well.
Yeah, you had USA, you had Grenada, of course, Antigua, Dominica, St. Lucia, Antigua, Trinidad. I had the whole Caribbean. The only Caribbean guys that was missing was probably Jamaica. So I'm thankful to see that Grenada actually was able to bring all of us together to hold that event, which was good. We also have our own event coming up here on the Bell. It's not at Bushy Park, and it's not in St. Lucie. It's on the Bell on Independence Day, which is November 30th, which is a Sunday. So we have the Sunday and the Monday to race on the Bell. So I got to say thanks to the government, the Sports and Tourism, the BTMI, Mr. Roberts. Stephon Roberts, the Ministry of Sports and Tourism, you know, all of those for coming apart and making this happen.
So you'll have other countries coming in for that
Yes, we got
bell
this,
run as
yes,
well?
Yes, all of the same countries I would have just mentioned, they are coming here to participate. So it's going to be one big international event here. I think it's part of the last the regathering that's going on. I think it's the last one for St. Michael, right? So that's part of that. So yes, it's going to be one big event. So a lot of guys obviously coming. So my plan is to probably, so if I could get the car into 9 seconds.
So the bell stretches will be a quarter?
A quarter mile, yes.
Okay.
And this is the first side-by-side quarter.
Wow.
We never had a side-by-side quarter in the history of Barbados.
So the BTMI involved in making this a reality. We have, and is this regional collaboration and competition, is it collecting points along the way? Are you building up to something even bigger?
Yes. No, there's a CDRC, a Caribbean Championship that will be held in Jamaica next year. January is the date. They said it might probably go early February, but we are collecting points. They're taking 2 seconds, the 9 second and the 10 second. So currently right now, me and Sammy registered for the 10 second category. So we are both close in terms of the championship to qualify, because all expenses supposed to be paid to go down there to represent Barbados. So my plan is to go down there and represent Barbados to our best of our ability, the best of our ability, to be quite honest, but we need help. Shane, let me be honest with you. The sport is growing, it's getting big. To me, it's the biggest
spectator
sport right now in Barbados, and that's hands down. But we can't do it all on ourselves. It was thanks to the club, bad for helping us to go down to the islands to race, but we still got to put money in our pockets. We still got to support the cars. So, you know, I'm just asking for sponsorship to come on board to help out, not only me, the individual, but other individuals, because it takes a lot of us to make this happen. So you got guys from the 13-second class, 16-second class, and onwards. So it does take up some money, and we're hoping that we could get some more sponsors to come on board, because our goal is to represent the Caribbean right through, and eventually we could revolve to the US and travel the world.
Is it possible that you can get it to a 9 second car?
That's the plan, November 30th. It's going to be difficult on the bell because there's no track bike, but we have something special happening behind the scenes that we are working on, and I'm going to tell the public now the plan. We want to win the 10-second bracket, of course, but the plan is to put the car into 9 seconds in front of the whole world, Barbados, November 30th.
Wow, amazing stuff. Ramel, continue the work. You have this platform here on Mornin Barbados to support you, appealing, you know, for that corporate support to help really not only drive Ramel Aline and that fast BZ with.
And I also would just like to take this opportunity to thank my sponsors, obviously, for assisting me along the way and believing in me. So I want to start by thanking Aline's Auto Rev Garage, A Plus Sierra Parts and Supplies, MKFKR Rentals, and Tallest Record Services, and A&A Auto Parts and Accessories.
Got you there. You got to thank Corporate Barbados for really latching on and supporting what is an amazing car. 6 seconds on the 8th.
One last thing before I go. I just want you to know too, we are taking a lot of the street racing off the road. If you really study it now, they don't have much street racing going on now. Before coming home from the airport late, people coming home complaining that there's a lot of street racing on Lowlands, this place, that place. You don't see much now. A lot of the youngsters now stop the street racing, and they're actually coming to the track where it's safe.
Yeah, doing it the right way.
So, you know, we help out in so many different ways.
Indeed. That's good. Really putting what could be a dangerous sport in a real safe place. Safe space.
Yes.
Ramel, thank you for coming and sharing with us. Ramel Aline from Aline's Auto Rev, really doing it big. 246 Island Auto.
You can follow me on all the social media platforms.
Yeah, you can find it there. Just go on IG and you'll see how fast this car really is. We got a lot more to share with you here on Mornin Barbados. Remember, it's Thursday, so it's Q Day. And Q in the community is coming near you. You can head on out and we'll tell you where exactly we're going on this Thursday, where we can, you know, have a beverage and where we can have a nice little line with many of our friends. I know a lot of us like to go there. So we'll tell you exactly where you're going for Q in the community this Thursday. You would not want to miss it. Up next, we have our news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The economy of a country can be likened to the engine room of a factory, the place where the pistons stroke and the wheels turn. And as with a factory, the end result of this exercise is a product. In the case of a factory, it might be an item of clothing or a food or some other product that make our lives satisfying. With an economy, the product is the aggregate of all the goods and services produced in the country, and it's identified by its monetary value as the gross domestic product, GDP. Gross meaning the sum total and domestic meaning within your own environment. Economic terms can be difficult for the average Joe, but if we are to understand the workings of the national economy, we must have a grasp of these terms.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Start our news this morning on a sad note. Barbados has recorded another road fatality. It's the result of an accident involving two vehicles yesterday afternoon along the Garden St. James. We have Anwar Goodridge-Boyce with this report.
Josiah Carmichael, a former St. Leonard's Boys student, was a passenger in one of these two vehicles which collided, leading to his untimely death at the scene. Now his mother, Natalie Carmichael, is struggling to come to grips with the sudden loss of her firstborn son. When CBC cameras arrived, Natalie described Josiah as a promising young man with a bright future.
Josiah had a whole future ahead of him. Josiah was my backbone. Trust me. There's nobody in the neighborhood that can tell you nothing bad about Josiah. Josiah could be one like you don't know. Anybody can call Josiah and ask Josiah to come and do a favor. Ain't gotta be money related. He can get it and he can come and do it. Out of a willing heart, out of a kind heart. I don't know. He come and snatch my first job from me. I don't know.
Miss Carmichael recounted her final conversation with Josiah before he left home earlier.
He told me, Mommy, Chrissy can come for me. Give he 5 minutes. Started Chrissy to give he 5 minutes. Chrissy did drive by the truck. And I passed on the message as he did. When he was leaving home, he asked if to get in the back or if to get in the front. He didn't know get in the front. He took off the back and get in the front. With he doing that, I felt a lot comfortable than he being on the back of the truck. But I don't know. That this will be my last day of my child. Hearing from my child, getting a phone call like this. I really can't get it together.
Police investigations are ongoing. Anwar Goodridge-Boyce, CBC News.
Commuters in the northern and central parishes on the island can expect better service from the Transport Board when another 35 electric buses arrive later this year. The Chief Operations Officer of the board, Linda Holder, gave that assurance at the official handover for 30 buses that arrived earlier this year. Denzel Roberts has more.
At a signing ceremony marking the official handover of the 30 buses, which arrived on island earlier this year, Minister of Transport and Works, Cynthia Bradshaw, thanked China for the contribution. She said the partnership reflects the Barbados government's commitment to affordable and reliable public transport for all commuters. China's latest donation put the island's electric bus fleet at 89. And Minister Bradshaw said that by year end, the partnership will drive the numbers even further.
this is another signature moment for both countries in that they have assisted us in being able to ensure that ordinary Barbadians or commuters are able to have an easier flow of access across Barbados. And we are also looking forward to, in the next few months, certainly by the end of this year, adding another 35 buses to our electric bus fleet. That will enable us certainly to be able to not only have the largest electric bus fleet in this part of the Western Hemisphere, but certainly to alleviate a number of the concerns that have been expressed by commuters regarding the scheduling of buses, the accessibility of buses in a number of areas. Put simply, if we don't have the buses, we are challenged to be able to provide the support that is necessary to Barbadians.
Chief Operations Officer of the Transport Board, Linda Holder, says once the buses arrive, the focus will be on improving routes.
We're going to be plugging some holes that are still existing in the north of the island. And there are obviously some areas in the middle of the island that are also of concern to us. Everyone has heard the complaints and we are working to address all of those. So the new buses are coming, will be deployed to cover those areas first and foremost. But always remember that we always say we start with certain priorities, and our priorities will always start with getting the children to school first and foremost. So buses will go there first. And then we look at the areas that don't have any other form of public transport, which is why you will always hear say we're going to the north and the middle of the island. So once those come, we will then come back and give you more detail on which routes are actually going to be covered.
Meanwhile, Chinese Ambassador to Barbados, John Bean Kai, says his government is pleased to continue supporting Barbados' vision and to strengthen the friendship between the two nations.
It's just one of the a testament of one of the projects we just achieved under leadership of Xi Jinping, our president, and Ms. Motley, the Prime Minister of Barbados. I think what makes this project so important is it's about the future, it's about the vision, it's about the people of the Barbados.
The new electric buses are equipped with the latest technology, another step in modernizing the public transport system while reducing Barbados' carbon footprint. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Parliamentarians from around the world are gathered right here in Barbados for the 68th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference under the theme, The Commonwealth, a Global Partner. The conference opened at the Wyndham Grand Barbados on Tuesday evening. While delivering open remarks, Prime Minister Mia Motley said the Commonwealth nations are meeting at a time when democracy is under siege and partnership is necessary. Anesta Henry has a full report from the conference.
Prime Minister Mia Motley officially welcomed delegates to the conference, reminding them of the crucial role parliamentarians must play in drafting laws to widen opportunities for citizens. She is encouraging them to fund projects that will protect and preserve the planet.
And bind states to standards that keep the vulnerable safe and be a check on the executive, as is the responsibility of Parliament. We can prove that collective action is not utopia. It is good government done together. My friends, as we do this work, as we make global partnership a living promise, remember where I began. For the word is love, and it is love that will give us the energy and passion to recommit, to make it all work.
PM Motley says if ever there was a time for solidarity and a common partnership in the world, it is now.
For it looks too much like it did a century ago, which was the precursor, regrettably, to too much death and to too much tribulation. Let our opening conviction for love be our closing charge, and let the compass for our commonwealth and our common future be love.
The parliamentary conference brings together more than 600 delegates from over 180 national, state, and provincial legislatures across the Commonwealth. President of Barbados, Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason, stressed the timeliness and relevance of debates that will take place during the conference.
In the current international environment, the rules-based multilateral system
is being assaulted on all fronts, with extraordinary challenges being made to the political and security agenda, to trade arrangements, to international mandates on health, education and culture, to the climate crisis, and to development cooperation.
Secretary General of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, Stephen Twigg, says the CPA and the Commonwealth Secretariat will work together to deliver a shared commitment to good governance, human rights, and the rule of law.
As our conference theme rightly reminds us, the Commonwealth is a truly global partner, and we will discuss that on Friday at our General Assembly. Many of you I know will be attending the CPC for the first time, whilst others are, how should I put it, CPC veterans. All of you, whether here for the first time or veterans, are very welcome.
The conference will end next Sunday. Onesta Henry, CBC News.
In sports, we hear that major steps are being taken to ensure more Barbadians are involved in Paralympic sports. The Paralympic Association of Barbados and the Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean recently concluded a pilot project to enhance the organizational capacity of national Paralympic committees and advance social inclusion. Speaking at a media briefing yesterday, President of the Paralympic Association of Barbados, Ryan Brathwaite, said following the pilot, several initiatives have been developed with government and key stakeholders with agreements to commit to Paralympics from the grassroots level.
Today's forum presents an important opportunity for dialogue, a chance to hear from our partners, to engage with the findings, and to work together on identifying practical steps on building a stronger, more inclusive sporting ecosystem here in Barbados. As we move forward through this new Paralympic quadrennial, and as we look towards Los Angeles 2028 Paralympic Games, we recognize that real progress begins at home, in our communities, in our schools, and in the systems we build to support the next generation of para-athletes. The Paralympic Association of Barbados is committed to continuing this work. We are committed to raising the profile of para-sport, to creating more opportunities for participation, and to strengthen our partnerships, because together we can elevate the visibility and impact of the Paralympic movement in Barbados and across the Caribbean.
And the Minister of Sports, Youth and Community Empowerment, Charles Griffith, said government is doing its part to help increase participation in Paralympic sports through a memorandum of understanding with the University of Japan.
There will be an MOU in place between the government of Barbados and this university to provide training for coaches who will come back and impact the lives of those individuals who we believe should be involved and can get involved in para sports. As a government, we have done a lot in terms of retrofitting our facilities to ensure that access is there. The National Sports Council just purchased 2 buses, and they insisted that those buses are ready to facilitate persons with disability.
Meanwhile, government is set to commit resources to the Adaptive Aquatics program on the island. Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Ryan Strawn, has announced that $100,000 will be allocated to ensure Barbadians with disabilities can learn to swim.
We are going to support the program at Camp Aquarius, which is at Bronx Beach, and we will work with the ministry to initially allocate $100,000 to make sure that the program of inclusion for all persons with disabilities, whether adults or children, can learn to swim, because we're on an island.
Yeah.
Our part of a wider mandate is to ensure that every Bajan can learn to swim.
Yeah.
And this specific intervention that we will work on is going to be critically important as part as to how we expose all of our people, to what is possible, not just in Barbados, but outside of Barbados.
That's it for news and sports. Coming up right here in the second half of the show, Princess Margaret Secondary School representing at the special mural that they have developed at Sam Lord's Castle, an amazing feature. We'll show you what they did. We'll tell you how it came about. We're also talking climate this morning with our friends from the UK and how we build resilience across the region. We have that and a whole lot more coming up here on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One. Your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out.
This segment of Exceptional Youth is brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund, financing education the easy way.
Yes, it's your opportunity on Morning Barbados to meet those exceptional youth doing great things in our communities. And we go to the parish of St. Philip, where students of the Princess Margaret Secondary School graced what is a beautiful picture at Sam Lord's Castle a mural that they developed there, and you'll get to hear all about it. We'll go behind the scenes to see how it was created, how it came about. So let me welcome the students and their teacher. I'll start with the teacher because she's closest to me, Lorraine Cumberbatch. She's, as I said, a teacher at Princess Margaret Secondary School. And then we have Tiana Tegg, Culpepper, Jalea, and Jakera Hoyt, all of Princess Margaret Secondary. Welcome to Mornin Barbados. Good to have you on.
Good morning. Thank you.
Okay, so teacher, let's put things in context here and tell us how this all came about, this partnership between Princess Margaret and Sam Lords. You're in the same parish.
Yes, please. Well, my colleague, Mr. Birch, contacted me at some point in time earlier this year and said that someone, I think it was Errol Griffith, had reached out to him about doing a mural at Wyndham. And because they would have worked at one in Parliament Yard before.
Right.
So, you know, we had a meeting at the Grand Barbados, Wyndham Grand Barbados. And from there, we just brainstormed. I came with the original concept, but then Mr. Birch and I worked on it feverishly. And then these lovely young ladies and gentlemen came on board, and there's one who's missing. He wasn't able to make it, Reniko overall.
Okay.
But they all came on board with Mr. Birch and myself, and they did a fantastic job.
Shout out to you, Reniko, probably watching from at home. We would love to have had you here, but we would have had to try to find some space for you. But it's good to see all of you young people doing what is amazing work. So let's start with you, Tiana. Talk a bit about how it was for you building this mural from the ground up with your friends from school.
It was really fun, a great experience. There were times where we would be like, oh my gosh, like this can't be over, but
stress.
Yeah, but it was really fun, interesting. We learned different painting techniques. Some of us are interested in art and stuff like that, so we learned different techniques on painting, and it was really fun with them. Yeah.
Kyle, was it fun for you as well?
Oh yes, it was fun for me too.
What do you say is the most fun part of a project like this, working with your friends and Reniko to make it come to life?
Well, talking to them is cool, especially with Reniko, and
it was really good. I could imagine.
Yes, it
just
was really
going through the rounds. How much time did it take? You could estimate in terms of the timeline, the days that it would have taken to bring it to life?
I would say 4 or maybe 5 weeks for how long it was.
5 weeks.
Yeah. We sometimes come in the evening and sometimes in the morning.
That's amazing. And this is along with schoolwork, because schoolwork still has to be done. Or wait, this was done in vacation?
No, well, part of it, but majority gets in.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So you leave school, enjoy that, of course, a lot of work to be done. Because I imagine, I want to get some ages here so I can gauge who's preparing for CXCs. 17, so CXCs done. Right.
I'm 17.
Okay, but still, that means it's on to the next stage.
Yeah, what happened is that Kyle is still at school, but the other 3 are past students. They would have left school this year. So Jalea is at BCC now doing fashion, pursuing her interest in fashion. And her sister is in culinary school, pursuing her interest in culinary arts. Tiana is also furthering her education. And Kyle is still with us.
Okay, so artists in different fields.
Exactly.
So you moved on now. Speak about the project, working on it with your friends.
It was amazing and crazy fun, in my opinion. There were a lot of laughter, tiredness. But me personally, I enjoy it because it's not only my passion in terms of fashion, but it's also art. I really enjoy art, and for art and fashion to come collage together was really amazing in my opinion. I just enjoy it really much, and I wish to do it again.
Lovely. And I mean, your sister, no, she's on the culinary side of things. No, but in terms of going through those 5 weeks and going back and back to try to make this mural as best as you can, what was the experience like for you?
Well, I used to do art, but I realized that's not really my thing. Mostly cooking and baking I really like. But coming back and remembering techniques to do the mural, it really was fun. I miss it, but I don't miss doing art. But I really enjoy it and I would like to do it again.
Well, we're glad to have you on the culinary side and hope to have you back with a nice little setup here so that you can bring some of your culinary delights here for us on Morning Barbados. But we want to take you to see exactly what these youngsters would have gone through bringing this mural at the Sam Lawrence Castle at Wyndham to life, showcasing that. Let's take a look at this mural.
On this little island lived a buccaneer, Sandor was his name. He wrecked all the vessels laden down with gold, sailing from the Spanish Main. In his dungeon dark and deep, his wife he used to keep while he terrorized all the land. Until then one day they took him away. Old Sammy was a broken man. He used to hang the lanterns in the coconut trees to lure the ships upon the reef. So when the sailors stopped beside town, alas, they ran aground. Now Sammy made a mistake when he wrecked a vessel off Her Majesty's fleet. They came from Morning Barbados with many, many soldiers, placed shackles on his feet. Then they said to old Sammy, boy, you made a blunder. This has been your final wreck. And they took him back to England until his dying day. He wore an iron collar around his neck. He used to hang the lanterns in the coconut trees to lure the ships upon the reef. So when the sailors stopped beside town, alas, they ran aground. Now Sammy made a mistake when he wrecked the vessel of Her Majesty's fleet. They came from England with many, many soldiers, placed shackles on his feet. Then they said to old Sammy, boy, you made a blunder. This has been your final wreck. And they took him back to England until his dying day. He wore an iron collar around his neck. He used to hang the lantern in the coconut trees to lure the ships upon the reef. So when the sailors stopped inside town, alas, they ran aground. He buried his treasure so deep in the ground, until this day it's never been found. Though people may search from time to time, his fortune they will never find. Oh, sad, his fortune they will never find. His fortune they will never find.
I mean, the whole team must be really proud, you know, to see you had so much fun, but
Yeah.
to see what the artwork looked like when it was complete. Talk a bit about the concept, because we got some glimpses of what it was really there, the mural, what it ended up to be.
And the whole concept behind it was the story or the tale of Sam Lord, which every Bajan, I guess, because that was the theme, right? So I guess every Bajan kind of grew up on that years ago. Oh, he hung the lanterns in a tree, drawing the ships to the shore, shipwreck, and then plundered the ships. That was the story we grew up on.
Yes.
However, making one of the panels interactive, asking questions and causing people to go and do research, one of the workers came and said to us, what did Sam Lawrence's wife really bribe the jailer with, if indeed she did? So that brought a very deep interest. Then you're hearing about a book. They found answers in a book. So that was the whole point, to get people to do research. And it brought a different narrative to the story that we were told growing up.
So there is a story to tell.
Yes,
and
indeed.
so the mural lives on.
Very
and
much
the
so.
story of Sam Lords live on. So for you, for instance, I mean, you've now learned about Sam Lords, who he was.
It was, I never really heard of him onto painting the mural. So it was different, and then as ma'am said, different people would come and interact with us and ask us, like give us more feedback and information about him. So not only were we learning through the mural, but other people also.
Carl, since you're the one still at school, what have you been telling your friends about being a part of this amazing adventure?
Well, to me, I don't know, but I haven't really told them much about the mural.
But you see, you're sharing it right here with us on Mornin Barbados. We saw glimpses of Renico as well being involved in the project. Now the old scholars. What's next in terms of, we know you're at BCC now, furthering your career, but you said you may be interested in doing something like this again.
Because art, like you say, is another passion that I love. So trying to get another opportunity like that, I would immediately take it. Because once it's art, once it's fashion, I would take it. And not only that, that is my calming place. I love to calm myself through them. But yeah, I would love to get another chance to do it. And yeah, enjoy myself again.
Jakira, are you joining your sister in this journey? You're sure?
I'm not sure because I don't, as I said, not really an art person. But if she had to call me and tell me, oh, Jakira, we got a next mural to do, I say, we can do it.
You think you could develop more of the Sam Lord story at Sam Lord's? Are there more spaces like that where you could do just that?
Definitely. There are more spaces, definitely. And I would like to put a plug here and say that for our film industry, somebody needs to come up with a film. Somebody needs to produce a film. Because even working on this mural was, it was like, I would love to see this in film, sit down and watch this, and even be a part of it in terms of costume designing, anything of a sort.
Well, listen, Princess Margaret representing in a big way, maybe that is the next journey for Princess Margaret Secondary School.
You never know.
Okay. Listen, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming and sharing with us. Nico, you're not forgotten. You know you were a big part of this project as well. That beautiful mural there adorning the walls of the Wyndham Grand, the Sam Lord story told by Princess Margaret. Thank you for coming and sharing with us on this edition of Mornin Barbados. Our talented Bajan youth really shining that light here on the show. We got a lot more to talk about as far as climate is concerned. Climate change is real. We want to show you how we build resilience. We're going to get some help with that from our friends from the United Kingdom here on Mornin Barbados.
That segment of Exceptional Youth was brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund, financing education the easy way. Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying,
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're getting some help with understanding what is the next step in our journey of climate change and building resilience with Rachel Kite, UK Special Representative for Climate. Good morning, Rachel.
Hi, Shane.
Yes, Rachel was appointed the UK Special Representative for Climate in 2024. Ms. Kite is a professor of practice in climate policy, and this is at the University of Oxford and Dean Emerita at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University. She has extensive international climate experience, which she's bringing to the couch here on Morning Barbados. Good to have you. Storm looming in the Atlantic, going to the north, trending to the north, which is good news, but we've had some close brushes in recent time. Our Prime Minister has been trying to do her part in terms of helping to understand how we can better finance climate resilience and building the capacity on the ground. Talk to us about what you see as this journey continues in building resilience with climate change.
Well, thanks for having me on. It's great to be here. So you're absolutely right. The Prime Minister and Barbados as a country has really, in the last few years, tried to turn the attention of the international community in countries like ours to not just responding after a storm has hit or responding once damage has been done, but to find ways to help, in this case, Bajans and the country be able to be resilient before the storm hits, and then to respond really quickly if a storm comes. And part of that is in the way we structure finance. So we now have a position for a number of countries to put more of their finance in mechanisms which we call pre-arranged. What does that mean? It means that if a storm hits, you can immediately draw down on the finances that are already there, rather than storm hits and then, okay, we need funds, we need resources. And we in the UK have been working with Barbados on insurance payouts when the storm hits and a system for that. But we're also now looking at different ways to create platforms where the financing and the partners are already organised and they're already sitting, waiting to be able to respond immediately when trouble comes. But resilience is resilience is reacting to hurricanes, obviously, but resilience is also about making sure that seeds can get planted immediately again after the storm comes through. Resilience is about how individuals can keep their education going if the electricity's out. How do the health systems continue to work? How does your sewage and your water treatment continue to work? And I think the reality is, and Prime Minister Motley has been really clear about this, is that all development is now happening in a context of climate change. The impacts are becoming more severe, and so we have to learn from each other, and there's much for the rest of the world to learn from the Caribbean. It's not a one-way street.
Yeah, and the conversation continues as far as climate change is concerned and the response. Now, you spoke about drawing down after the storm, but when you build back better, you build back more resilient. How are you seeing that happening in some of these Caribbean islands, which are very susceptible to the ravages of storms and hurricanes?
Well, so the first thing to note is that no country does this well. So last year we had incredible floods in Italy, in Spain, in Brazil, when Brazil will host the next round of climate talks. And no country is really prepared to sort of come back and build back better, right? So what often happens is you start building immediately, but the road maybe needs to be built with different substances so that it's more porous, so the water doesn't run off and make the flood even worse. Buildings may need to be built to withstand a greater hurricane force. So some countries are beginning to, and the countries that are really learning about how to do this well are countries which are in harm's way because climate is getting worse. So when I think about resilience, I think about investing in people so that people can get up and get back to work as soon as possible and earn money. How to make nature resilient, so our coastal defences, how to invest in reefs and the other things which make sure that the storm doesn't hit us so badly, and then investing in our infrastructure so that it can withstand higher winds, sea level rise, a saline incursion, all of these things. And in the Caribbean, this I think is very much the mindset, and I'm here to talk to the Caribbean Development Bank as well as the government of Barbados. I'm on my way to St. Lucia to meet with CARICOM environment ministers, and this is what it's all about. And it shouldn't cost more. In fact, it should cost you more if you're not building back better because you're wasting money. And that's what we're looking at, is how do we financially make it make sense for people to do the right thing.
We have these COP meetings and we've seen our leaders address these platforms and try to make decisions which would better our plans and our priorities as far as building resilience. But we've also seen movements like the US pulling out of the Paris Agreement. How did these opposing forces help the conversation and the direction and the building going forward?
So you're absolutely right that we come together once a year in what we call a conference of the parties, and this year it's in Brazil. 10 years ago was the big breakthrough agreement, the Paris Agreement,
yes.
And that was only made possible by the leadership of small islands, including Barbados. I mean, we would never have got to that level of ambition if small countries didn't sort of say, we need to do this, and speak with a moral authority as well as a technical prowess, right? So 10 years later, the United States has suggested that it will withdraw. Nobody else is withdrawing. So 195 countries signed up and are working together. One's left. They've left before and came back. They're now leaving again. So it's still 194 countries. And this is a planetary issue, right? Every country is being affected. So the only way for us to to solve this problem is to work together. And in the clip showing Prime Minister Motley talking to the parliamentarians who are gathered here in Barbados, she said, like, we have to work multilaterally. We have to support this international system where all countries have one vote. So in the United Nations, every country has one vote. Barbados has the same size of vote as the United Kingdom, and that's what matters, that we're working together. So we will all go to Brazil in November, and we're not doing enough. We're not on track as an international community. The planet is still warming, but we know what we need to do, and now we need to implement it.
With the US being such a big player pulling out, how does that affect meeting those targets set?
Well, it's going to have a huge effect on Americans because they will miss their targets now under the new sort of approach that the Trump administration is taking. And that will affect the price of electricity and things like this in the United States. Internationally, everybody else is still in, and I think it has an effect in terms of the United States providing financial assistance to science and technology, to tracking the weather, for example. But I think with 194 countries still in, we should be able to keep progress moving forward and hope that the United States comes back at some point in the future.
What do you think will be the main message going into Brazil?
I think the main message is actually, because Brazil is hosting these talks in the rainforest, one of the big messages is going to be that we have to invest in nature in order for nature to protect us. And here in the Caribbean, we know this because of the attempts to continue to protect the reefs and the corals, everything that we have in our coastal areas, and then obviously for some of the islands in the region, protecting their forests as well. So we will not be able to do well as a species, as human beings, if nature doesn't protect us. That will be one big message. The second big message is that we need to invest more in resilience, and that's why I'm here in the region.
Invest more in resilience. How much more are we talking about?
So every year we negotiate what are the amounts of climate finance that are needed, and then countries contribute into sort of pledges towards that. And I think the reality is that the public finance is from the developed world is split into many different pots. I'm not sure that it's enough, but increasingly the focus is on how to leverage that public money to bring more private investment in. And that's what the UK is doing. So we're working closely with the government of Barbados, with other countries in the region, and with the Caribbean Development Bank, finding ways for the Caribbean to be able to invest in the markets and bring more money into the region to invest in water systems and sewage systems and electricity systems and agriculture. And so really climate change is everything. Everything is climate change. It's about the resilience of the economy, and for that we need more investment coming in. As Prime Minister Motley always says, there's more money leaving the region than there is coming in, and we have to start to reverse that.
Indeed, and we really hope that we start to meet those targets as we lead into Brazil, and that those discussions yield some tangible results. We really must protect our economies through building resilience, and we thank you, Rachel, for your support in this regard.
Well, thanks to Barbados for its leadership.
Yeah, and thank you for coming and sharing all of your wealth of knowledge here with us on Morning Barbados. All the best in your journeys, and please keep us up to date on what's happening in terms of the conversation and the success.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time. Rachel Kite, UK Special Representative for Climate, speaking with us on Morning Barbados, bringing us up to speed on those conversations on climate change, building resilience, and definitely getting that financing moving in the right direction. Still more to come here on Morning Barbados. Remember, we still have to tell you about Q in the community. It will be at Flash Zone Bar. We'll talk about that, all of the association and activity around that. We know that you're going to have a great time at the bottom of UWI Hill. So yes, that we'll showcase that, and we'll speak a bit more about other activities here on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This has been a week of familiar faces right here on Morning Barbados. I looked at the running hours like, Brittany Bradford? Wow, good morning, Brittany. How are you doing?
Back home.
Back home, right here on the couch with us here on Morning Barbados. And we're going to talk about free movement also with Nancy Solomon. And let me give their titles as well. Brittany being the Regional Labor Policy Advisor and Trustee with HERMAB. And Nancy, she is HR Manager with HERMAB and focusing on labor management. And you're also the HR Chair. So welcome. And we're talking about free movement. Everyone knows by now what would have happened. There is a new movement in effect of sorts, and now we can move labor freely between a number of countries. Not all just yet. Only certain member countries have signed on so far, and we're looking for more to happen as far as that is concerned. So we have Belize in the mix, yes. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, yes. Barbados, yes. And
Dominica.
So there is free move. Well, let me give the experts the opportunity to really speak about how this works. How does this work, Brittany, now that labor can move freely between these four countries?
So, it's working within the pre-existing dispensation of the CARICOM Free Movement of Labor and the agreement that was established years ago under the Treaty of Chaguaramas. What we've done is to remove the impediments that existed, and I wouldn't even call them impediments, but some hurdles that existed with respect to verification or the getting a CARICOM skill certificate and having your qualifications and so on verified through your local accreditation council. There are certain barriers being removed at the immigration stops. For example, persons are receiving their stamp, immediately without having to engage with the BAC or our accreditation council here and then have that later on. And of course there are other benefits. We've heard it and we've seen it. Persons are going to have access to Social Security, subject to them contributing, of course. And persons are going to have access to free medical care in the same way that we do. So there are wider benefits to this dispensation that Dominica, St. Vincent, Belize, and Barbados have signed on to. Yeah. From an employment perspective, it's smooth sailing. It makes the process pretty much like a process for any Barbadian, in so much as, of course, those persons have to get their NIS number and their TAMIS number. They don't have to wait on a CARICOM skill certificate to start to engage.
Still early days yet. It started October 1st. What are you hearing, Nancy, so far? Any stories to tell just yet about how this free movement of labor is working?
It's too early right now, Shane, to say of stories, but as someone who has benefited from the CARICOM skills certificate, Trinidadian, moving here 15 years ago to Barbados, yes.
You're one of us.
I am, I'm home. But that process, I can speak to it personally to know that, the time you had to wait to get your CARICOM skill certificate, that's 6 months. You only got a stamp for 6 months initially. So knowing that that has all been lifted, as Brittany indicated, definitely is going to open up opportunities for persons. No longer you have to necessarily fall into specific categories because the CARICOM skill certificate specified specific categories of workers. You can bring families over easy And I think those are the stories that we're looking forward to hear from, because as we know, Barbados is an aging population, and those are some of the benefits that we're going to get as an economy immediately if we're able to bring in more families and persons coming here to work.
How is this a benefit which some of the other countries which are not signatory to this type of movement just yet? Tell me what they are missing out and why should they sign on?
Well, for me, I would say that they are missing out on the same openness, the opportunity, because you're still cutting off. If I moved here as a single person, it's one thing because I had the requisite skills. But if my husband did not have that, then you're breaking up a family. So you're removing the opportunity to have an entire unit come and have that benefit. You're also removing the opportunity to have what was envisioned really and truly in the Treaty of Chaguaramas.
Right.
The intention was never to have this level of restriction. We need to see the region as one entity and not as these separate states. So they're missing out on us finally realizing the dream of Eric Williams and persons like those founding fathers. So I would say the sooner that more countries, and when they realize the benefits and release the fears, because there are some fears that persons have with such an opportunity as this lifting. We have persons who've been concerned about, the criminals coming in and that element. But crime is everywhere, and you can't really stop a criminal from coming in. And this lifting did not change that.
Right.
So I think once countries are able to release that fear and embrace the opportunities that will come from what is really supposed to have been with the Treaty of Chaguaramas, then there'll be a full benefit for the region as a whole and only strengthen us.
Do CARICOM nationals need to show evidence of having a job before making that transition between countries?
No. And I mean, on the first day we had a few persons who were kind of highlighted in the newspaper and so on, and they were very clear that they hadn't, found employment, but they were seeking employment. Under the previous dispensation, at the border, that may have been a requirement. And I'll say this, even though some of these parameters have been removed, it's very clear, even in this dispensation, that each signatory and each country has the right to protect its borders, right? So Nancy mentioned the element of crime and so on. So even if a person comes in and they don't have a job, lined up, but they're coming to seek employment, it doesn't necessarily take away Barbados' ability to do background checks, to ensure they've not been engaged in crime, and also to, as far as reasonably practicable, ascertain what this person's history and employment history has been like. So short answer, no, they don't need to, but it does not mean that it's kind of like a free-for-all.
As HERMAB watches this unfold, what are some of the HR issues that could raise their head?
And I think less issues and more so challenges that we need to anticipate and be proactive around. So with this, of course, we have removed the verifying entity, the Barbados Accreditation Council, from being able to verify these persons' certificates. And that's going to mean that internally, practitioners need to be able to do that verification on their own. You certainly, as you would not for any Barbadian, you certainly should not take a person's curriculum vitae or their resume to say that they have a certificate that they've placed on there. That verification should still happen. You've now removed BAC, of course, so that it means that load sits internally. You also, there may be a hurdle with respect to verifying criminal elements because you're not able to verify here whether the PCOC that applies here, which only accounts for convictions and not charges. Even if that's clear, what about ascertaining a PCOC, and when I say PCOC, a police certificate of character, from their country of origin? So those are the very low-hanging fruit that I can see presenting some hurdles.
What do employees looking for work throughout the region now, using these 4 countries as the example, what do they need to walk with to make the process as easy as possible?
Well, as Brittany indicated, definitely having your certificates. Coming with your valid police certificate of character would also help the process, ensuring you have the necessary reference checks, because now that is going to be a task assigned to the HR department more than likely in your organization, so it will help speed things along. Being able to also have an appreciation, I would say, as an employee coming in, of the cultural differences of the employment laws, in the respective country that you're interested in, because, and as well as things like cost of living, being aware of the differences between countries. So while we're all CARICOM and we're all Caribbean, we all have sun, sea, and sand, there are differences within each of these countries. So I think coming with that awareness, so outside of the certificates and all of those things, coming with that mindset that I am still moving to somewhere that is different from my home.
Yeah, and HR departments need to just keep their eye on the ball, really, as you said, those checks and balances to make sure that that person that you're hiring from another country coming in, you know, to really represent your company is who they say they are and that they can deliver.
That's right, and I think, you know, it's about helping people acclimate. So of course, verifying that these persons have the ability to execute with their certificates and they have the technical capacity. But, you know, as Nancy mentioned, it's not just about recognizing, yes, we all have similarities, but how does an HR department take the cultural element of this and ensure that people feel welcomed? Can they better acclimate to this environment? Is it going to take them longer? How are we recognizing and openly creating plans and strategies to ensure that as persons settle here, it's not, you know, a huge stark reality for them? So lots of strategy, I think, should go into the planning, particularly for those organizations who are making large plans to do, whether it's job fairs or have large intakes of persons from other countries.
HERMAB keeping their eyes on HR in the region and really that freedom of movement that exists between St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Belize, Dominica, and Barbados. Of course, we'll keep in touch. Brittany, hopefully I see you before my tenure. My short little stickler in is here. Nice meeting you, Nancy, and looking forward to hearing more about how you see this freedom of movement working for our countries across the region and really for our economies, because that's what it's all about. Building better economies, building our people. And that's where we wrap up things on this edition of Morning Barbados. Remember, Flash Zone Bar is the place to go today from this afternoon. I think you can get down there around 1. The rain should start to clear up. Things should start to hold so that you can enjoy that beautiful space there. Our friends there at the bottom of UE Hill. Just go and enjoy what is a good time at Q in the community. You see all the action there. That's what you can be a part of. I'm trying to read the back of the shirt. My eyes are not that good, but he's having a ball. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Yeah, we've had many blessings right here on Morning Barbados this morning. You've had all of your information, and remember, as we go into the weekend, we're going to have some more fun from 6 Friday morning as you join us again for another edition of Morning Barbados. I'll see you then.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.